Good evening, everyone. Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants. And of course, I am your host, your YouTube sign off and imitator, never duplicator, superstar Tim Vicious. And gonna go over Raw this week. Was in Toledo, Ohio. And well, before we do, as per the norm, switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Well, it started out with the Usos coming out, emphasizing on the greatness that is the longest reigning, defending WWE Universal Champion at 508 days at the time of that episode. One Roman Reigns. So Roman comes out, asks to be acknowledged, then Seth comes out, interrupts things, basically goes and says, you know, you wouldn't be where you are without the Usos. You wouldn't be where you are without them. Just like you wouldn't have been where you were in the Shield without Mia Mox. And yes, he said Mox. So, well, how about that? And it was very interesting to say the least. And then Seth wound up proposing, how about this? I find myself a tag partner, and then me and my partner take on the Usos, and if I win, the Usos are barred from ringside during our match. Roman's just looking like all sorts of mean mugging, pissed off, and Jay winds up getting on him like, we accept, and Roman's like, the fuck, has this look on him like, the fuck you mean we? And then says, alright, but if you lose, you give up your shot at the Rumble. And then they start to gloat, saying, yeah, good luck finding a tag partner, this, that, and the other. And says, I have one. And then out comes one Kevin Owens. So fast forward to the end of the night when they have their tag match. Seth's about to go and hit the curb stop and secure the win, and then Roman comes in, wham, pops a Superman punch onto Seth, which causes a DQ, so Seth wins. I don't know, booking-wise, me personally, and again, I try not to do the armchair quarterback or in wrestling case, do the whole fantasy booking type shit, but I was just thinking, it sprung in my head as the ending was unraveling on live TV. Now you see, if I was Roman, I wouldn't have hit Seth. I would have hit one of the Usos. Because one, that could plant the possible seed of disbelief amongst the family. And two, then it's the, oh, Roman did that because he didn't want to face Seth. You know, he took the coward's way out. He wasn't really ready for him. He was scared, this, that, and the other. And, you know, then you let that spin and circulate until the Friday before the Rumble. And then you have a return match or something like that where it's then or just have it go and say, no, the match was officially pulled. Up until that Friday where they say, officials have now come to an agreement saying that the match will still take place. I'm just saying that all that unraveled in my head as that happened. But the other highlights from SmackDown, Sami Zayn had a segment where he was showing he could do what Johnny Knoxville did before Jackass ever became Jackass, but better, and was showing that he could, in fact, he would zap himself with a cattle prod, and was like, whoa, oh, God, oh. And then Knoxville came out and was like, oh, cool, hey, may I? You know, I've handled a lot of these. Funny thing about them, click, they work better when they're turned on. Zap, 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 zap. And then zaps Zayn for real, and then laughter. Ensuing laughter, then throws him over. Other big highlights, Kofi had a rematch against Madcap Moss. However, God, Yeah, that really is a good saying, isn't it? However, Kofi did not come alone. He, in fact, brought back up in the likes of Big E. Had a small little New Day-ish reunion. All felt all nice and warm and fuzzy in my cold black heart. And, yeah. Kofi got the win. Big E hit the big ending on Moss. Corbin sat out ringside looking like these rotten rat dick-eating bastards, motherfuckers. Raiders had a match against Los Lotharios. Raiders got the win. Charlotte had a Proving Grounds rematch against Naomi. Sonya Deville came out, intervened, and said, whoa, no, hold it right there. I'm going to be the ref for this match. Then she instilled being the special guest referee. She did a screw job in Charlotte's favor. So then backstage you see Pierce say, management has had it up to here with your antics and your bullshit with Naomi. So management is now strongly considering letting you and her have a match next week, which would be this Friday coming up. So, to the age-old saying, let the story play out, well, guess what? Now we're coming to the climax and the payoff from it. I hope you're all happy. Because as much as people want to bitch and complain, there's no long-term booking, there's no long-term booking, there's no long stories, there's no long rivalries, there's no long feuds. Dude, they fucking did one. So get over the shit. Other big highlights, Sheamus had a rematch against Ricochet. However, Sheamus did not come alone. He did bring back the triumphant return of Ridge Holland, which definitely see that boy going and knocking someone's head off. That big boy, like that big bastard. Jimmy got the win there. Natalya went against Aaliyah. Match ended in a DQ in Aaliyah's favor because Natalya wound up brawling in the corner and did not break off at the 5 count, so the ref called for the bell. Natalya was pissed off and Aaliyah's like, oh my god! Had that look on her face, and yeah. So that's pretty much all the highlights from SmackDown. So let's get into this week's show. It starts off with the official weigh-in for the world title match coming up on Saturday at the Rumble. And, well, first we have Bobby Lashley with MVP come out. Lashley in a tracksuit looking like he's all legit, serious, ready to go. And then when Brock Lesnar comes out, my savior Paul Heyman introduces him in. Then we get Brock Lesnar coming out dressed like a cowboy. Like, I'm not even kidding. Jeans, the normal Brock Lesnar belt buckle, a flannel, a denim jacket, a fleece-lined denim jacket on top, and a cowboy hat. Yeah, like an actual Stetson cowboy hat on him. And just like, good God. He is having such a fucking time with this. He's just like, you know what? I'm going to just go there and I'm going to be the biggest, most conceited fucking prick out there and have the most fun doing it. And that's exactly what he did. So that Corey Graves, who was there with Adam Pearce to officiate it, was like, Brock, you seem a little overdressed for this. Brock just looks at him. Should I get naked for you? And if you listened at that precise moment, you could hear hundreds, if not thousands, of Brock Lesnar fangirls' ovaries explode at that thought. Like, oh, listen. Now you can't hear him now because I said it, so ain't gonna hear nothing saying that. Moving forward, though, Bobby Lashley takes off the tracksuit, steps onto the scale, comes in at a whopping 272, and I'm just thinking, holy fuck! That is fucking big! And MVP boasts and highlights, 272. That is pure God-given muscle. That is pure God-given strength. He is the Almighty. He is the Dominator. He is going to destroy you come Saturday. And then Brock Lesnar steps on with all the cowboy shit on him. And then goes and comes in at 280. Like in the 280, I think it was 282. I know it was in the 280s. But even factoring in the clothes, the boots, and all that jazz, it's still pretty damn big for fucking, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's pretty damn impressive. And, but, yeah, it surprisingly, it did not end in a flim-flam where everyone was butting heads at where everyone was fighting. Instead, all it did was just go back and forth, squabble promos, and then boom, that was it. So with that said, then we go to our first match of the night, Bianca Belair versus Queen Zelina. And thankfully I had my heart pills on hand before the start of this match, hence why I was so limber and lucid as it was going. Bianca at the start was fucking just ragdolling Zelina around, throwing her around. And they had some nice back and forth in this, you know. Like Zelina, not so much playing to the small man fighting the giant, playing, you know, like working at chopping the tree down kind of shit. But it was, no, you're going to do this? Well, you know what? I'm going to drop a knee and put a counter on you. Oh, you're going to hold me up? You're going to do that for me? Well, you know what? I'm going to slide down here and then put you in a choke. Okay? And things like that. It was really good back and forth. I dug the shit out of it. Match came to an end when Zelina went for the code red. And it was just, and then Bianca's like, nope. Hoists her up. Repositions her. Hits her with a KOD. 1, 2, 3. That is it. Next up, we got Damian Priest going against Kevin Owens in a coveted United States Championship match. And Priest leading with really good aggression right at the start. Had good solid action. As much as last week's match had a lot of ROH feel to it, this one surprisingly didn't, given that, you know, like I said with last week, these are two ROH alumni. And I'm not saying that in a negative way, it's just more so just as an observation. It was like, okay, like, and I'm, again, just as an observation, like seeing last week going from ROH style to WWE style, like, you know, I'm okay with that, you know. Change it, you know, like I said, you change shit up every now and then. It's not a bad thing. So yeah, match came to an end when, in Kevin Owens' favor via a DQ, with ref stoppage when, just like with the Natalya Aaliyah thing, this time though, you could see the ref actually getting in there, sandwiching him, trying to pull Priest off. He did that like 2 or 3 times before he eventually, like, you know what, that's it, ring the bell. DQ. Owens' favor. So, while Kevin Owens technically has the win against Priest, Damian Priest is still your coveted United States Champion. Next up, we got 3-woman trios action. Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Dana Brooke going against... Okay, unfortunately I didn't have my heart pills ready for this one because I wasn't anticipating it. Camella, Tamina, and Niki A.S.H, which I still stand by the idea of it's a good idea to have Niki turn heel instead of Rhea, because what's better than having someone almost be a superhero than having that almost superhero be a villain but still see themselves in a hero-like way. You know, it's... The greatest villains don't see themselves as being evil or mean or bad or whatever. They see themselves as doing the greater good that the hero wouldn't. They see themselves doing what the heroes wouldn't. You know, case in point, like, and I brought this up many, many moons ago. Brought this up a couple years ago. You look at Avengers Endgame with, the Avengers movies with Thanos. You know, in his mind, what he saw he was doing was just. So, but to the rest of the world, like, no, dude, you want to do mass genocide on a literal unfathomable scale. That is not fucking just! Like, yeah. The greatest villains don't see themselves as heroes. Or get my words right. The greatest villains do not see themselves as villains. They see themselves as the hero in the picture. And Niki's case, she's saying, sometimes heroes have to do things that are a little unfair and inappropriate and such. So, yeah. Now, as far as the match went, though, oof, damn. You know, while I definitely needed the heart pills for the girls, yeah. As far as the match itself, ugh, it just came off kind of clunky for me. Especially at one point, Tamina just dropping, like doing a flat back and just like, the fuck? I mean, I loved on how they played it on the commentary, saying, oh, she did that to avoid getting a boot to the face, but it was just like, my God, ugh, timing was off on that one. Oh, man, ugh. Yeah. The match came to an end when Rhea wound up doing that reverse cloverleaf on the Carmella, and yeah, that was it. Next up, we got Randy going against Chad Gable, and before this match happened, we had a spelling bee. That's right, we had a spelling bee on Monday on a wrestling show. Surprisingly, this wasn't half bad, and this was semi-entertaining. You know, especially when, you know, Gable, God bless, man, the guy really is becoming more and more like a Kurt Angle-esque, where he just takes whatever position he's in and fucking rolls with it. You know? He went from being a white meat, squeaky clean babyface with Jason Jordan to being Shorty G, which was a flounder of an idea, to then being fucking to this now with the Alpha Academy with his number one guy, Otis, and yeah, the Irish dude, Kevin Patrick, officiating the spelling bee, and you know, my homeboy Zeke, he wound up even saying it out there on the Twitter, you know, anyone that's, you know, people that have had spelling bees, pretty sure wound up getting some really nasty flashbacks. Thank God I never did it. Not sure if it was because I wasn't necessarily met the grades or because I just didn't want to, but no, I'll face facts. I didn't have the grades for it. Yeah. But Otis, he nailed his spelling word. Riddle, he nailed his. Gable failed his and blamed it on Kevin because he had an accent, and then Randy nailed his, and then Randy issued a challenge for a match, so then we got to this. Good, solid ring work. I dug the shit out of this. Randy, he was leading. Randy kind of started to lead the match midway into it, but before that, it was just like a lot of good back and forth going for a bit. And you know, again, like I said, Gable, he is just fucking coming. This is like his coming out party, if you will. He's just fucking going with this shit. And I am all fucking for it. And I can't wait until Gable Stevenson gets into the ring, because one day, we're going to have Chad Gable versus Gable Stevenson. And that is going to be fucking beautiful. Match came to an end when Gable, he had an ankle lock on Randy. It was going good, and then and Riddle, who got attacked by Otis earlier, grabbed his little razor scooter, slammed it across Otis a few times. Gable's looking on, didn't let up on the move, but look, you could see him looking over. And then Randy countered it, rolled out of it, threw Gable into a corner, turned around, wham! Popped him on an RKO, 1, 2, 3. And Riddle said for the next challenge that they're going to have for the Alpha Academy Academic Challenge is a scooter race. Yeah. You know, all things considered, I'm glad it was that and not something like dodgeball, because that would have brought back some bad PTSD memories from gym class for me. It's never fun being the kid that's picked last and then playing dodgeball. Let's move forward before I wind up getting flashbacks. Next matchup, AJ Styles versus Austin Theory. AJ Styles versus Austin Theory was the next matchup. Beforehand, we saw the old man Vince talking with Theory, and Theory saying, you know, it's, any chance you could set me up with like a later number in the Rumble, like maybe 27 or 30 even, or something like that? You think I have something? You think I have leverage on that shit? What the hell is it? What the fuck is wrong with you kids nowadays? Yo, fuck you, get the fuck out there and give me a goddamn match. At least that's on how I visualized it. It didn't necessarily turn out that way. But Vince basically said, no, I don't have any control over who gets to be in what numbers. And then said, I want you to go and take on a performer tonight in the likes of AJ Styles, and you need to show me that you can win. And Theory then said, yeah, I'll do that. And then, just like my norm, click, take a selfie. So yeah, as far as this match, oh my fucking god, this was the fucking highlight of the night. This was the fucking match of the night, hands down, without fucking question. These guys went really good. Nice quick pace at the start. Theory, he was leading into the break, and most of post break, it was just solid action, really good all around. I fucking love this match. And say what you want about Austin Theory, good, bad, or indifferent, the kid can fucking go, you know? And listen, I know we've all, you know, the shit that went on with him about with the speaking out thing. Okay, yeah. Do I agree with it? No. Am I saying I endorse the guy? No. Am I saying that the guy can perform? That's it. So don't go saying, oh yeah, I'm supporting him and fuck all that shit. No. Far from it. I'm just saying, the kid can fucking go. That's it. Match came to an end when AJ started to build up a comeback, and then wham, popped him with a phenomenal forearm. 1, 2, 3, that was it. Next up, this is the last match, however, not the ending of the show. Last match of the night, Street Profits versus Rhes and Dominik Mysterio. And nice, good back and forth, like leading right into the break. And probably the standout part of this match was when everyone was outside Montez Ford. He looks like, alright, my time. Gets a running start and then does a Superman pose just like this, while jumping and rolling in the air, like in mid-air, and holding this until he hit impact. Until impact, when he hit everyone. Just like, fuck! Post-commercial break, Dominik, he was the punching bag, and there was no one hot tag. It was Dom tagged Rhes, and Ford wound up tagging in Dawkins, and then, or not Dawkins, Ford, and then everyone went at each other. Then they went at each other, so it was dual hot tags. Again, slightly different, not bad. I dug it. Really good. I fucking love the shit out of it. Especially, the more I keep watching Ford perform, and the more I keep thinking, soon enough, they're gonna fucking split these guys up. And when they do, Ford is going to go to the fucking moon. That's not, that is a stone cold fact right there. Now, on how the match came to an end, Ford had Rey on his shoulders. Rey wheeled around into electric chair position, spun around, and then did a roll-up. A roll-up. We went 3 fucking weeks without a roll-up, and now we got a fucking roll-up again. God fucking damn. Fuck. Fucking hate roll-ups. Death to roll-ups. That's all I'm gonna say. Death to roll-ups. Fuck. Hate them things. Post-match, we saw the Mysterios. We saw Dom try to toss Rey over the ropes. Shades of last week, but Rey was like, you couldn't get me, Mio. Nice try, man. And then Rey, and then, you know, they're like, okay, it's all good. And then the Prophets tossed both them over. And then Dawkins tossed Ford over. Sorry, man. I had to. I'm sorry, man. And then you saw Ziggler and Rude come out. Big brawl. Everyone got in there. Big schmoz, blah, blah, blah. That was it. So now, closing segment of the night. The Miz doing a gigantic birthday celebration for his ever so loving and appreciative wife, Maurice. Which, okay. I really need to look back and try and find this, because back when I was in college, I wrote a thesis. Saying on how Canada's greatest exports outside of maple syrup. Smoking hot women wrestlers. And, you know, yeah, Maurice kind of helps solidify that, because just like, yeah, I'm going to just leave it at that, because I can already not only feel a brain duster, but I can feel a punch on the top of my head. I can feel like I'm getting punched on the top of the head like a cheap hooker. Moving forward, though, Miz goes and shows birthday presents. First, remove the veil. A fabulous portrait of Miz and Maurice done in a royal prince and princess type way, which, okay. Another one, which is a little box, opening it up, a little makeup kit thing, I guess, I don't know, kind of looked like a little makeup box. I don't know this shit. You know, but yeah, and then it was, oh, what's this big box? Oh, wait. I didn't do that. I thought you had that out for me. Oh, what? Oh. Security! Open this box! Wham! Open it up. Ha! We got you all. You really think we'd have a box here that neither of us knew about? Ha! So much for the old Jim Cornette saying, God damn it, if you come out of a box, you'll be fucking over, motherfucker. So much for that shit. Instead, it was the brick that they used the week prior. Maurice used a week prior to clock Edge in the back of the head. And then as they're celebrating, out come Edge and Beth. And Edge, pretty much almost kind of like in a get-up like I am. Beth having a tracksuit jacket on, unzip that and just look like, holy fuck! Jesus Christ! She's got arms the size of my fucking head! She's got some fucking guns on her! They're like, no. You see, we're gonna come here and we're gonna bash this party anyway. So they come down, they dismantle and destroy all the security, and then Edge powerbombs the one security dude through a table with the presents and the cake, and oh my god, it's ruined. And as Miz and Maurice are walking away, while hiding behind security, Edge and Beth are standing there like, come on, come on, come on. I'm just thinking, holy shit, this is going to be fucking good. So, with that said, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on Twitter at TimVicious. Also, thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud, all that good shit. Details are down below. Thank you to LFC. Thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Lingerie Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats right out on the Twitter. Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. And folks, like I always tell you, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.